Hello, hello. Today I'm going to be taking this personality test here. This is the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator test, which is supposed to give us like a result, one of 16 different personalities that are possible to get here as a result. But as always, like these tests shouldn't really be taken too seriously. They're kind of all just for fun. But I'm gonna see what I receive here. And the results are: seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. Actually kind of a difficult one. No, I don't think so actually. Because usually what happens is like, if I see other people crying around me, like, I don't want to cry with them. Like, my reaction is to like be like, well, how can I help you? Do you need something? Like, can I bring you water? Like, can I bring you tissues? Like, I can't cry usually when there's people crying in front of me. Like, I want to like help them out instead. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. No, not really. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones that you already know. I'm actually very much guilty of this. I'm horrible at talking to new people. Prefer to completely finish one project before starting another. No, definitely not. I think I probably jump around from things too much, like I jump from one thing to the other. So that's a big disagree. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. No, that is a big no. I wish I would feel comfortable maybe, but like, I don't know. I definitely don't. You're more inclined to follow your head than your heart. I like to think so, at least. You enjoy participating in group activities. No. This is a big no. I think one of the things that draws me to like longboarding, skateboarding, all that kind of stuff, is like you can do that solo, you can do that by yourself. And you can do that with people too, and I think some prefer to do it that way, but I like that you can just progress on your own. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than from your own accomplishments. I wouldn't say that's necessarily true for me, actually. I like accomplishing things. I like helping people, but I also like accomplishing things. You are interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. Yeah, sometimes. I think so. There's a lot of little hobbies or interests that I pick up every once in a while, and then I'll just drop them. But I can come back later to them, so you know. You're definitely not an artistic type of person. I'll disagree. I don't think the definitely not part here. I may not be very good at any kind of artistic pursuit, but I think I like kind of artistic stuff. Like I'll mess around with music instruments, but I don't really know how to play them. Do some doodling, not that great at drawing, but still fun. I think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings. I want to agree, although I feel like it sounds a little edgy. Sounds a little edgy when put it like that, because I don't know. I feel like sometimes feelings are based on a rational thing, and sometimes what people think is rational might not be. So it's like kind of a odd one. But I think for the most part, yes. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one because while I want to answer agree, I'm also currently streaming, which is exactly this. So I think we're gonna do small agree. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. Okay, yeah, I'm really bad about this one. Like, for example, with people, their walking speed, like, I'm like an angry little walking gremlin. Like, I hate when people are walking super slowly. Sometimes I've had some times where I get upset while driving. I try not to, though. Try to make an effort to not do that. But yeah. I won't, and just to clarify, I won't ever be like rude or ever be like angry about this stuff, but like internally I'll be like, oh, walk faster. You have always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. The odd one. Actually, probably not. Well, we'll go neutral, and the reason why is because, like, while I do find it, like, I do find some morbid curiosity in that question, it's like, I'm of the opinion that if you focus too much on stuff like this, then, like, if you focus too much on the after, then you're not gonna focus on the now when it matters, right? So, we'll go small disagree there. After a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need. No, absolutely not. I think this would be absolutely exhausting. Well, even if this is already an exhausting week, a big social event is absolutely a nightmare. Sounds like a nightmare scenario. I think I need buffer time for a big social event. For sure. You enjoy going to art museums. Yeah, the times I've been to art museums, I've surprisingly enjoyed more than I thought I would. I think that there was at least some point where I had like a little edgy face, like, oh, why would I care about art, all this and that, but it's actually really interesting. I really enjoy going to art museums. Plus, I like the atmosphere of them, like, quiet. When you walk around, you like with paintings or sculptures and ceramics, all that jazz. We rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Yeah, I think this goes back to what I was talking about earlier. Like, there probably isn't a meaning or purpose or whatever. Like, just is. So why bother? Or, well, not why bother, but like, why bother looking for more than just what it is? Your personal or work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I would say definitely. That's definitely more my style than like a consistent thing, or like sometimes when I do one thing for a long time, like I have to take breaks or I won't be able to focus. So I prefer to like do something, like a little bit of something, and then switch to something else, and then maybe come back to that initial thing. I think that works better for me. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. A little? Not, yeah, because like, not everything, right? I think that's too arrogant to say that all of it would be a waste of time, but somewhat. feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmospheres, quiet, intimate places. No, I think I prefer quiet places, although sometimes I found that I prefer the quiet places that are within the busy places. It's a bit odd that way. So we'll disagree. You know at first glance how someone is feeling. I think I can get it somewhat of a read for sure. You often feel overwhelmed. Nah, I'll disagree. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. But this one, it actually depends. Like, what are we talking about here? Am I gonna pass on a free sandwich, or am I passing on like a job opportunity? Right, so it, like, kinda depends. But I think, yeah. Yeah, I think I would actually. Struggle with deadlines. I would say I struggle with like procrastinating, not necessarily with deadlines. Like, I'll stress out sometimes at the time of deadline, like near deadlines, but I'll meet the deadline themselves. So like, I don't think I struggle with deadlines because they do get met. Right? Is that how it works? So go disagree. You feel confident that things will work out for you. Yeah, somewhat. Somehow, and I was talking about this earlier as well. Somehow, I do think I have somewhat of a like a blind confidence or a blind optimism. That's I acknowledge that I think it's kind of dumb to have, but I feel like that's what I have. And then let's see the results. And my personality type is Virtuoso, ISTP-A. But what does this mean? Let's see. I think this is for certain accurate here. I got 96% introverted, 4% extroverted. Yeah, that's certainly accurate, I feel. Energy. This trait shores will redirect our mental energy. And it says here I'm 58% observant. Wonder what that means. In the context of all this, at least. Nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions, thinking or feeling. I got 65% thinking. Now this one's another one that's skewed way to one side. I wonder what that's about. Tactics. This trait reflects that our approach to work, planning, and decision making. So I got 92% prospecting, 8% judging. I think these are either or percentages, like they'll give you one or the other. And let's see. Identity. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. 61% assertive, 39% turbulent. Virtuosos explore ideas through creating, troubleshooting, trial and error, and first-hand experience. They enjoy having other people take an interest in their projects and sometimes don't even mind getting them into their space. Of course, that's on the condition that those people don't interfere with the virtuoso's principles and freedom, and they'll need and they'll need to be open to virtuosos returning the interest in kind. But I feel like some of these descriptions, though, I feel like they're kind of apply to anyone in a way. I feel like some of these are kind of universal, maybe. Virtuosos enjoy lending a hand and sharing their experience, especially with the people they care about, and it's a shame they're so uncommon, making up only about 5% of the population. Virtuoso women are especially rare, as the typical gender roles that society tends to expect can be a poor fit. They'll often be seen as tomboys from a young age. Well, I think that this one is kind of accurate, actually. But again, like, all these stats are kind of in a way asking you something and then telling you what you answered right back, and then you get your confirmation and you go, whoa, that's true, that's so me. Let's see our strengths and weaknesses. What are those? What do we got? Virtuoso strengths. Optimistic and energetic. Creative and practical. Spontaneous and rational. Knows how to prioritize, great in practices, and relaxed. And the weaknesses. Stubborn. Yeah, definitely. Insensitive. Private and reserved, another for sure. Easily bored, dislike commitment, risky behavior. Wonder. Oh, yeah, I can kind of confirm the whole risky behavior here. As you see, my garage here is a bit perhaps filled with risky behavior enabling stuff like skateboards, longboards, all that, going fast. So I guess that is accurate in a way. Few personality types are as bold and practical as virtuosos. Known for their technical mastery and willingness to improvise, virtuosos are good at finding unique solutions to seemingly impossible challenges. Virtuosos desire to explore and learn new things. I can't read. This is another trait of virtuosos that they can't read correctly. Because that would be very accurate right now. Virtuosos' desire to explore and learn new things is invaluable in many areas, including their own personal growth. Okay, alright. Let's able to read that paragraph. Yet virtuosos can be easily tripped up in areas where the focus on practical matters is more of a liability than an asset. Whether it is finding or keeping a partner, reaching dazzling heights on the career ladder, or learning to plan ahead, virtuosos need to put a conscious effort to develop their weaker traits and additional skills. I think this is for sure a little bit. I guess the applies is like the planning ahead thing. This is a big one that I have to put effort to, a conscious effort, because otherwise I'm just never gonna plan ahead. Explorers, virtuosos, adventurers, entrepreneurs, and entertainers tend to be self-reliant and quick-thinking. These personality types don't mind handling uncertain situations on the fly. In fact, they live for those types of situations. Explorers' flexibility helps them to adapt in the moment even if they don't feel particularly prepared. These types tend to not be obsessed with precise detail unless they're really in the zone, in which case they can muster a level of precision and focus that would make a seasoned engineer blush with envy. This is wording. Usually, they prefer workability and usefulness to perfection. Explorer personalities enjoy learning different tools and techniques, from rotary saws to sheet music to emergency response strategies. Yes, yeah, a lot of these are very wide casting things, which is why you see that various personalities kind of share these, because you kind of cast a wide net with some of these. What's the difference between ISTA and IST? I think we got A. Got that one, so let's see. Virtuoso personality types have an individualistic approach to life. They often follow their own path and with healthy self-regard and relatively minimal concern for traditional structures. However, the assertive and turbulent traits can affect how these personality types see themselves and respond to everything around them. Let's look at some of the differences between how assertive virtuosos and turbulent virtuosos are likely to express their personality traits. But what does this mean? The identity scale made up of the assertive and turbulent traits affects all other scales and indicates how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. Identity triggers the way we react to the things life constantly throws at us. How do we respond to success and failure, criticism, feedback from other people, unexpected events that suddenly change many things or everything, even in the unknown future? Let's see. What does this mean? I guess just how us if we have self-confidence? Yeah, I guess so. Assertive individuals are self-assured, even-tempered, and resistant to stress. They don't worry too much, but this is different from apathy. They aim for goals and want successful results, but they typically won't let nervousness color the path to their accomplishments. They're unlikely to spend a lot of time thinking about their past actions or choices, and according to assertive personality types, what's done is done. Okay. But there is negatives here. It's not all rosy. However, problems may arise for them if their confidence turns into overconfidence. Assertive individuals may gloss over problems or details that can interfere with their goals and desired results. They may lean towards assuming all will be possible. Yeah, actually, I do kind of lean towards assuming that. So I got some of that survivorship bias. Assertive people also sometimes presume they are free to do much more than others would allow or tolerate. If overconfident, these personality types may come to believe their confidence overshadows what others want. Well, that's no good. I think some people do take these a little too seriously and think that the results kinda define them a bit too much. But yeah, I think it's all for fun.
To catch the streams live, join me at twitch.tv/MaxineMaryhill. I hope to see you there.